good afternoon there, YouTube gang. Got you in the old Chevrolet Cruze. I have not run this thing since December 20th. I'll take that back. There were a couple of short trips around town, but today is January 13th. As you can see, we got some snow last night, so this is kind of a cold start, although it's about 35 degrees outside. And we got power. Oh, clutch in. Just like that. She's back to life. Turn Whalen off there. 35 degrees. Just a hint of flurries out there. Saw a couple of them when I was walking through. It's kind of dark over to the east. It's looking light to the west. A little dark to the north of us. It's supposed to be snow off and on for the next few days, and starting tonight it's supposed to get cold. Like down into the teens and 20s and not anything above that for a couple of days. I'm gonna sneeze here. Oh, excuse me. So I got out this morning, brushed the car and the trucks off, even hit old Cletus a little bit there to keep the water from pooling and getting into the rust holes. And if it's gonna freeze, I didn't want a whole bunch of sheets of ice on my driveway since it's a bit of a slope, so I'm gonna give the car a minute here just because it hasn't run for a few weeks. Yeah, it sure looks pretty out there though. Roads are looking pretty good. They don't plow my street at all, so, but it's not looking too terrible. I got halfway decent tires on this thing, so I'm not too concerned about it. Once we get out of the main roads, it should just be all wet. I thought about driving Jimmy or the pickup, but not bad enough, and I need to get the car going. And Jimmy's due for an oil change, so I was going to do it this weekend. It was just way too wet. Alrighty. Oh, grindy on those drums in the back. Probably the discs in the front too. Been sitting for a long time. Picking it up in the camera there. Crunchy transmission shift. The transmission's cold. It's not slushy, but it's not completely frozen either, so. There is water on the roads. It was just so nice and peaceful last night, standing in the front yard, that little video I took, just listening to the sounds of the neighborhood. The snows came in a couple hours earlier than they had forecast. Actually had a hailstorm blow through. There were a couple of serious accidents. It got so bad out on the main road. But I thought that was going to be the beginnings of the snow. But it held off for a couple hours after that. Everything's still hanging up in the trees though. Highway 2 across the pass is closed with trees and power lines down right now. Good thing we're not going that way. I didn't check the mail before I left. Oh well. Don't think there's anything expected today anyway. Oh, it's just make a left and stay on the main road here. Normally they go straight ahead and take kind of the back road, but Exhaust is on. Take the fan up a notch here. Ease on in with the traffic. Hyundai right on my back bumper. Yeah, we don't get a lot of snow here like this, but when we do, it sure looks nice, although it tends to screw everything up. All the idiots that can't even drive when it's dry, like the motorcycle parked on the side of the road there. Good mode of transportation in the snowstorm. So what do we got planned for this week? Today's Monday. Should just be a standard day. It's actually going to be a pretty busy week. It'll be a standard day today, 8 hours. Tomorrow, line move, so I'll be in late. Actually staying late, not getting late. I'm going to meet with my new, what do we call him, senior director, 4th level manager. The guy who's in charge of the 787 program in Everett. Retired the last guy early December and haven't met the new guy yet, so get to meet with him tomorrow. Wednesday I get to pop into town a couple hours early for a union open house. I want to attend that and see what they have to say, and more than anything get my face known around some of the bigwigs in the union. My name is known by a lot of folks for the work that I do, but my face is not, so I was told I need to correct that. We got backups on the trestle, everybody's going slow. We have an accident or something up here. Somebody trying to outdrive the conditions. Don't even have temperature showing on the temperature gauge yet. They've realigned a bunch of attendance guidelines at work, so my official start time is now 1:30 in the afternoon. Which means if I'm late, I get dinged now. Before I had some leeway to adjust my own hours, but so this lane coming down the hill that we're yielding for should be closed. It gets steep and they usually shut it down in the snow, and there were people stuck on the hill yesterday. Well, it's open. There's people coming down. You got a steep, nasty hill, and when it's snowing, people still try to drive up it. And then they get upset when they get stuck. Because the city should have plowed it. Well, you can use some common sense and go around. But that's just me. But roads are looking good. Spray off the tires, things aren't freezing. Tonight probably a whole different story, although I'm sure they'll have the de-icer out tonight, which will make a greasy, slimy mess on all the windows. is slowing down more and more in this lane. Alright, we got temperature showing on the gauge. Got me worried there for a second. One of the slower trips across the trestle. Yeah, Wednesday, got to meet down at the Union. Do an hour meeting down there. Thursday, I'm going to a ribbon cutting ceremony for a mobile safety trailer. I have to be in at 10:30, which means I probably have to leave my house to find parking about 9. Thursday should be just a standard day outside of that. Probably still going to pull a 10 or 12 hour day. Then Friday's line move, so that'll be a late night. And all the while, we'll be expecting snow and cold temperatures. Okay. We're slingshotting here. No, don't get in the left lane. Yeah, had absolutely no wind with this storm, so everything's still in the trees, looking pretty. There's a Chevy coming up with a snowplow attached. So a heavy plow is 3/4 ton truck squatting in the nose. Tell on the shoulders they have been plowing this stretch of road, major highway. Yeah, went out, cleaned the downspouts so the water doesn't back up on the roof. I was thinking I need to be an ice dam building up underneath the overhang. That after shoveling the drive, sweeping off all the cars. So I spent an hour and a half out there this morning. Come on over, dude. Your view is fairly clear, not streaky. Fourth gear around the bend, merging onto I-5. Ease in with the traffic. People are still on the brakes. Interstate looks really good. It's even mostly dry. We'll just hold this lane as it's the one I'm going to want to exit anyway. Just watch the broke down car on the shoulder there. All the speed demons are getting over and starting to pass. Crank rib to 60. Ford diesel with a blown turbo on the fast lane over there. I got about 3.5, almost 4 inches at my place. It was creeping up on 3 when I went to bed about 1 o'clock last night. It was still coming down. I cleaned off the back steps. When I got up this morning, there was probably not quite an inch on the back steps, so probably a solid 3.5 inches. With supposedly more on the way. If the next round comes in tomorrow, is what they're saying. Well, it's a chance of showers, snow showers this evening. I didn't go anywhere this weekend. Didn't really do much of anything. It was so wet outside. Stayed indoors. Should have edited more videos for the Jimmy, but I didn't. Have to work on that a little bit tonight. Tomorrow night's the last one that I've got set up. How many more I got to go, but I could probably milk at least another half dozen out of it, if not more. And now we're just getting into the cleaning and the minor repairs. And it still needs work. It's not a truck that I want to drive every day right now. I need to fix that. Still got some problems with the brakes, transmission. The fan. But at least we put the 500 miles on it for the motor break-in. And really, I just drove it. I did a lot of back roads, a bit of freeway driving. Especially the last week, this was the drive that I took it on. But I'd flip between overdrive and drive, so the RPM would change a little bit. Try to keep y'all's window a little bit clean. Down to 5th gear. Still idling down. Let's grab 4th. Everybody's slowing down for the corner here. Into 3rd. 1800 RPM in 3rd. 1700. Yeah, those trees look pretty. I may got a little bit more snow than I did. Closer to 6 inches here. Yeah, I was laying in bed the other day just thinking that I haven't driven this car in 3 weeks. Took 2 weeks off. And last week drove the Jimmy all week long. This poor car just got neglected and sat. But the fluids are good, doesn't leak, tires are still hanging in there. So I'm anticipating really good parking at work today. There's probably a lot of people that decided, it's snow on the ground, I'm not coming in. And I'm okay with that. I'm sure to throw a few extra things in for lunch, just in case the coffee shop's not open. Don't have any lunch meats or whatnot. Because I didn't even go to the grocery store this weekend. Yeah, the only thing that would make this view prettier would be a blue sky. I think I mentioned in a video I put up the other day about doing a drive into work like this again, since a lot of folks like watching this kind of stuff. So I should get in the habit of doing one every couple of weeks or once a month or something. Alrighty, road's still looking good, but we're going to slow her down to the 40 mark or below. Around the bend, just in case. Still got a lot of spray coming off of vehicles ahead, so nothing's frozen. 32 out here. A little chillier than my house. See what the parking lots look like if they plowed at all. Very wide stretch through here, though. Friday night when I left, the guys were out. I think they were putting de-icer down already. Although it rained all weekend, so it's been washed away. But hey, when Boeing's your customer, you just take them for everything you got, right? Got a lot of folks coming up from Renton. We started on Friday. Another batch coming up this Friday, and then last batch coming up next Friday. Oh, slushy mess. Huh. There's a pedestrian sign in the center median here, but no crosswalks close by. I wonder where the plow picked that up from. Oh, I bet you I know where. I'm gonna walk right across the crosswalk. Yeah, the roadways are all nice and clear. The parking lots are actually all nice and open. Let's see what we can find for, oh, look at that snowbank. Sneak around. Nope, we can't, but we can go this way without getting stuck. Made it. That's gonna screw things up, taking up a few parking spots. Spot, nope, there's a car there. The old Dodge Aspen or Velara wagon there. Here, parking, 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 parking. More people here than I thought there would be. Is that a spot? Is that a spot? Is that a spot? Why, yes it is. Snake the bed Chevy Cruze in. And we made it. Light snow flurries. So we'll see what the it's like on the way home. Still got a full battery, so we're looking good there. So y'all be good. Maybe we'll record the drive home tonight too, just to see. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash for you. It'll be 8.5, 9 hours for me. Oh, we're back. There's another suction cup attached. Doesn't feel like it. Now it is. Oh, it's cold out there. Car starts, so that's good. What's it say? 28 degrees. We're gonna give her some warming up here. It is chilly. A normal 10-minute walk from my desk took me about almost 20 minutes. Hit the time clock right at 10 o'clock, 10:02. It's 10:18 right now, according to the car, so that's a 15-minute walk. Added 5 minutes for the icy conditions. It is icing up out there. Hopefully the roads are doing all right. A little bit of light dusting of snow. Supposed to start coming down again later tonight. Chance of not heavy snow, but about 50% opportunity for frozen precipitations. Ooh. Yeah, it's chilly out there. Good thing I'm layered up. Little snowflakes that are sitting on the windshield already. They're starting to pile up too. Did a lap of my building, checking all the doors, make sure de-icer was spread. Everything was shoveled and clear, but I don't have the best shoes on for this icy stuff, but I got enough tread that I could walk on the, the frozen slush where the cars have driven, where it's all chewed up and whatnot. Those did all right. Back window's clear. Give the car another couple of minutes here just to build up some temperature. One thing about this little car, it doesn't heat up very quick. Little tiny motor. When I bought it, one of the biggest complaints was, especially in cold climates, like if you're in this stuff all the time, you could never get the thing to warm up. But I found that if I turn the heat up all the way and leave the fan down, notch 1 or 2 instead of 6 or 7, doesn't suck all the heat out of the heater core. Nose is starting to run. Yeah, so a manager that lives, 20 miles south of me, he said he got about 10 inches of snow. One of my 2 second levels said he got about 10 inches out just past Monroe. And he was late coming in because they had downed trees and he had to cut his way down his driveway to get back to the road. I think he came in about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that. Said it was already starting to ice up a little bit. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see what happens here. Sneak across this way slowly. I used to have a Z71 that almost looked just like that one. Mine had the factory wheels though, and mine was a GMC. 1996. That was my one foray into a really fancy truck. Leather, CD, and push button 4-wheel drive, Z71. And end of the day, I like the old plain stuff better. There's a big old pile of snow there. I think this is about the only parking lot that was actually plowed. Is that pile showing up there in the camera on the right? Parking lot straight ahead there through the light. Yeah, that one never got plowed, although they're spraying de-icer on it. It sounds like the main lot that I used to park in did not get plowed, but it sounds like they're going to work on that tonight. So we're just going to have a slow, easy drive home. They've got de-icer spread here. I can see the lines on the road, so. Traffic merging here, which is non-existent. Frost there. Yeah, the second level manager said he was coming around this bridge up here, and it was a little tricky. Down around this corner, looking clear, but not gonna chance it. Last thing I want to do is put the car in the guardrail. Don't want to have to buy a new automobile. I don't know what I would go get. There's nothing out there that really intrigues me. Move over a couple more lanes here. Just gonna grab 6th gear. Behind me, so I can cruise along here at 46. Road's looking pretty good. I could probably go faster, but why chance it? Starting to feel a little warmth coming through the vents. Oh yeah, we got some warmth creeping through the temperature gauge now. We're almost halfway up to normal, which is kind of weird because driving into work it took a lot longer than that for it to start to register. Of course I am higher speed, so a little more RPM. Down to 27 degrees. We're up to 53 on the speedometer too. I guess I'm creeping up there. This will be a good night to go home and do up a hot can of soup of some sort. Maybe some split pea soup. Shiny on the road, although I'm hearing spray, so we're still going to slowly start backing her down. Driving in the wintertime, dragging y'all along with me. Grab fifth gear here and ease around the corner. 50 on the bridge. We're already down to 45, but I think we'll creep that down just a little bit more. We'll grab fourth gear. People are tapping the brakes. Yeah, they're now saying it's not quite gonna get quite as cold as they were anticipating. We were calling for upper teens and maybe upper 20s during the day, but now they're saying the daytime high probably gonna be right around freezing. However, the nighttime temps are still gonna be down a bit. We're still sitting at 28. Let's see what we're doing up by the house. 55 and a 60 on a clear road. I'm okay with that. Really like it when the trees have the snow on them like that. Service bus doesn't decide he wants to jump over in front of me. Snowflakes in the headlights, maybe an occasional one, but it was too closed, still closed. I was reading an article on the news at lunch that Interstate 90, they're going to be having to do some avalanche control, so they'll be shutting that down a couple of times tomorrow or in the coming days. Got heat coming out of the vents, but boy, the steering wheel's still not warm. Fingertips are cold from grabbing onto it. And we'll just ride behind the Tahoe here, since we're going to be scooting over here in a sec. Down here, unless it's dry. Temperature still sitting right at the halfway point between cold and warm. Should be warming up once we start climbing the trestle though. Alrighty, can't really move over, so nobody on my right. Ease into the exit lane. "29 degrees now. Jeez, what are we worried about?" going to have to look to give the car a bath after this. Hasn't had a bath in a while, but it'll start thawing out if we start getting wet de-icer. It's going to make a mess out of this little white car. Behind me's got his high beams on. Wonderful. Couldn't tell if that was a bump in the road or if I slid a little bit there. Hoping Twinkle Toes will be going around us. Come on, Tahoe, you can do it. I'm not going to, I am. Mr. High Beam's getting to me there. Trestle's looking good. I don't see any of the spray marks from the de-icer. Slow drivers in the fast lane now. Come on, they're slow. Down to 40. Back off, get a little distance. Foot off the brake. Almost got the car up to temperature. Bunching up over there in the slow lane. Almost up to temperature. Fan up a notch here, because we'll be climbing the hill. That'll get us up to snuff. This bridge is looking pretty good. Looking nice. Sneak around the blue pickup up here. Looks like Uncle Don's truck. Blue RT. We're up to temperature now. Rolling along 58 and a 55. Nice clear road. Whistling, and I can't tell if it's from the wind going around the mirrors and the rain deflectors, or bearing going out. I hope not. Tried to roll the driver's window down, but it's frozen. The actual driver's door was frozen on this thing when I tried to get into it just before the drive here. Just enough thawing to make things miserable out there tonight. $27 degrees. Let's see what the neighborhood looks like here. I'm sure it's going to be a fairly slick miss. So far, so good. Actually, looks pretty clear. Almost looks like they ran a plow through here. Easy on the little downhill here, just in case there's ice. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty good. Looks like it. Yeah, good drive home. Not too bad. A little wet through here, but 26 degrees now. To see what we get tonight and tomorrow for more snow, if we get anything at all. Now the big question is, how did my driveway fare? Did it melt enough so I don't have a sheet of ice, melt and thaw? Got running water right there. Looks like it's wet. I hope it's wet. It's a little slick. I have to be careful then, because I got to get around the Ginny and the fire hydrant. And not smack Cletus. Alrighty, we made it. 26 degrees. 241, that wasn't too bad. 20-minute drive, that's almost about normal. Thanks for tagging along. We're going to cut you off here. I'm going to go inside, get something to eat, get this uploaded for y'all for tomorrow. Stay warm, stay dry, stay safe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.